Welcome to Corner Cafe.
About the things.
And welcome to Corner Cafe. I am Rachel Maines, and I have Biff Gore on the cafe today. Welcome to Corner Cafe, Biff.
Thank you so much for having me, Rachel. It's an honor to be here.
Well, we always love having you on the show, and you are a Corner Cafe personality. So in the new year, I think we need to plan some cool things for you as a personality, Biff.
I think so, too. I'd love to maybe even go to some concerts and give my feedback on it, or, other things. Maybe go, the other thing we could explore is great food in Denver.
Ooh, yes. I love that. Yeah, because Biff, you're out a lot. You have these gigs that you do at different venues, so you definitely know Denver well. How are the gigs going?
They're going pretty good. I did get sick back in, over Memorial Day weekend. Labor Day weekend, and it took me forever to get my voice back. And so, that put me on hold for almost 2 months, 2.5 months. But things have picked up again. I'm still playing at some of the same venues, playing at some wine tasting rooms and a pho restaurant in Centennial and in a Italian place, and it's been great.
Fun stuff there, and I hope to be joining you in the new year as I'll, put together some cover songs to sing and perhaps some of my original songs, and I hope to be writing more music too, so prayers for that, listeners.
I think you're amazing, and I'm really looking forward to singing some Norah Jones with you, accompanying you while you sing some Norah Jones.
Oh, that'll be a blast. Yeah.
And your voice, you have a really, really amazing voice. Your ability to harmonize is really, it's intimidating.
Oh, okay. So, Biff, you've been on The Voice, so you saying that is like unbelievable, because I think the gift that you have and Darren Ron has, and we just had this Christmas concert, is intimidating and spectacular. I mean, we had a good crowd. We had a good time. My dad and I were just, really enjoying the night. It was a special night.
Well, I thought it was really great, and I love this. I love to see that you and your dad sing. You have this, the girl next door persona, and it's really refreshing when you hear just sweet people sing, and you're one of the sweet people out there, and I really enjoy hearing you and your dad, and you just bring such a joy and a light to a room.
Aw, well, thank you, Biff. That is saying a lot coming from you. So I just love you. You're a big brother to me, you and Darren. And I'm looking forward to future Christmas concerts and future things, too, that the Lord has in store and that he puts upon your heart. I know you have a big vision for the new year. But before I ask about that, I want to inquire, how is your radio show going?
Hey, you know what? First of all, thank you so much for helping me out, giving me pointers, and helping me come up with good ideas on how to interview people. And you may not think that you're helping me very much, but as I listen to you and your show and the different artists that you have on, or the different personalities, different people you have on, you really inspire me to ask more engaging questions, give people the opportunity to speak. I think the first couple episodes, it was filled with a lot of ums and ahs, and I remember calling you and saying, Rachel, I'm having an issue because I feel like I free flow when I'm with you. I can just talk about whatever. And then when I get to doing my show, I felt like I was kind of had my back up against the wall, and I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. And so I'm learning. I'm in episode 30. This week will be episode 36.
Woohoo.
The one you'll hear right after your fantastic show. And so I've been actually studying how creatives on YouTube rate themselves and discover how to get better. And one of the things they talk about is you need to focus on doing 100 episodes, and once you get to your 100th episode, you should be working on little things every week. And so I'm kind of treating it like it's a vlog cast, even though it's a radio program. And I have not started uploading it to YouTube yet, but that's one of the things that I'm planning on doing this year. But the show's going great, and thank you. I'm sorry it was a long way around to answer the question.
No, Biff, we just enjoy having you on KLTT. You bring some light to our Saturday programming. We love having you and what you have to say, and then your guests as well. And just excited for the new year and what you feel you're called to in the new year. You're learning a lot, but are you going to be tweaking some things, perhaps doing things differently with your radio program?
I think so. One of the things I want to do, which I would love for you to be a personality on my show, I'm going to be doing these things called the living room sessions. And that's
cool.
where I get to really focus on people coming in and showcasing their writing skills. I would love to, I've got this couch where I want people to come and sit down. I want to interview them and talk about everything from what's your favorite food to how do you spend alone time with the Lord, and then get to hear maybe one or two of the songs that people have written. And I'd like for you to be one of those guests because you have a unique voice, and you love the Lord, and you love guitar. And I would, like I said, I'd love to. I want you to be one of the first people that I interview because you have a unique story to tell.
Well, I would love that. I'd be honored, Biff. And that means I need to start practicing like ASAP, which I have been doing. So looking forward to that, and just looking for the new year and your radio program. But yeah, I'm a bit of perfectionist. I'm sure you can sense that, Biff. So I put a lot of pressure on myself with pretty much everything, even my radio show, and then of course with the singing. But one of the things that has been helpful, not that I do it perfectly, is to just realize, hey, we're going to make mistakes in the radio program. If you do a lot of no worries. Just try to enjoy and realize, people don't want a perfect package. They just want to hear realness.
I think so. I think for getting to a point where you and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a way where you let your instincts take over, those instincts that help you get to the next level and work on articulating better, how you edit your videos better. One of the things I'm really impressed with you about that is really impressive to me is how you taught yourself some of the Adobe suite. And your intro to your show is one of the best I've ever seen. And I'd love to be able to do that. But, that's down the line. That's one of the things I'm adding to my, you can do this, you just need to get over a certain learning curve. And I wanted to say this. Every time you talk about practicing, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Allen Iverson when he played for the Nuggets. And one of the coaches told him he needed to practice. And his response was golden. He said, practice. I don't need to practice. He may not need to practice, but we all need to practice, right?
Absolutely. That's so funny. Biff, your personality, I just enjoyed it at the Christmas concert. You just, you crack these jokes and you have this way about you to get the room engaged. There was one time we were talking that you said you wanted to do more concerts. Do you have that in the new year?
I do. Just matter of fact, I work with an agent. My agent, it was really busy this year, but again, when I got sick, I had to cancel a lot of stuff. But I've already started booking some shows in October and some things out of state. I'm actually going on tour with Blue Gospel Scripts, and we're going to be doing a West Coast and East Coast and sort of a central tour running through this month, December, January, and February, and then we've got some shows that are coming up where we set the music, skillfully setting music to the Gospels, and so that's going to be good. And I'm doing some of my own Biff Gore stuff. I will be, Lord willing, I will be traveling, like I said, in October and doing some festivals up in the mountains. and then, all the corporate stuff that I do, where I go and represent Biff Gore, the ambassador of soul, for galas and other corporate events. And so I think it's going to be an exciting time.
Absolutely. You're always so busy, Biff. And I just want to mention, too, that you are the lead artist, if I'm saying this right, with the Castle Rock Star lighting, which is a joy and just a blast to go do. How did it go this year?
It was phenomenal. And the thing that was really awesome, it was nice and warm. I didn't even have to I didn't even wear a coat, I don't think. I just wore a vest. And it was warm. There were about 33,000 people out there, and I really love that people come out in an intimate small town, and we talk about Jesus, and we sing Christmas carols. And my band got to play right before the event, the starlighting took place, and we get to play whatever we want to play. So we played a lot of blues. I got to jam out with my good friend Danny Ortley this year, and
cool.
Kerwin Brown from Big Hit Todd and the Monsters was there, and there was a lot of fun to be had.
Yeah, an absolute blast for sure. Biff, have you ever been shy? Because you go on The Voice, 6th season of The Voice, and all the things you're doing. I mean, I don't think there's a shy bone in your body.
It is. It's called anxiety, but the Lord pushes it down. I try to pray before every performance. I try to give that stage to the Lord and ask Him to sing through me like a lion and work through my personality on stage. And I love it. I love being on stage. I love singing. I love performing. And I do have a couple of really big bucket list items that I want to do this year. One of them is it's just like yours. I want to sing Nessun Dorma, which is an operatic piece, and I want to do the prayer, and I want to sing them out at CCU in a new performance hall. That's my Carnegie Hall right now. And so I've got Steve Taylor, who's the Dean of Music over at the School of Music, he and I are going to work together on these pieces, and I mean, he's critically acclaimed. This guy he sang at Carnegie Hall and done some other big things. We're also cast members of this Blue Gospel Scripts production that we do. We just did a show this 2 weekends ago, and I got to tell you that he is a phenomenal human being to work with, and I am just enjoying being able to sing sacred music and music that is more formal music, I would say, music that you have to actually read music for. And this working with this group has really helped me. Working with Dean Taylor's really helped me hone my my reading, my sight reading skills. Because for most of it, I've just sang out of pure emotion and pure just raw talent.
Right.
And it's nice when you get to see notes, kind of like when you were a kid and you sang out of a hymnal.
Right.
And you figured out the SATB lines and the music. So yeah, it's been really challenging for me in a great way.
Love that. How can our listeners check out the gospel scripts?
They could just go to bluegospelscripts.org and check out the shows and where they're going to be. We have 7 shows coming up this year. 3 of them will be at Highline Community Church, and I can't remember where the other 3 will be, but if you go to their website, you will be able to see where they're actually hosting these shows at. Like I said, we've got like 4. I think we're doing 8 shows in California this month. And we have so many shows, we're actually sending 3 teams out. It's going to be pretty phenomenal. And we do a couple things. We're doing movement of music. And that, to me, is one of the funnest things I get to do, because it's highlighting music from the civil rights movement, right? And how music shapes movements.
Right.
The greatest movement in the world was the civil rights movement, and how the gospel shaped that movement. And so anyway, I get to sing my the song I sang on The Voice, which is "A Change Is Going to Come" by Sam Cooke, and just put that God-given talent on display.
Wow, that is really cool, Biff. So looking forward to just kind of seeing your social media as you go on tour and you're gearing up for that into the new year and all the things that God is doing with you and in you and for you. What are you kind of focusing on right now, just spiritually speaking?
One of the things, and you said something to me last year that really, really resonated with me. And, you talked about how you really, you glorify God by how you treat your body. You try to eat right, you try to exercise right. And that really struck a chord with me, and I just thought, when I got really sick in really sick at the beginning of September, I was like, why is my body under attack like this? I mean, people get sick all the time. And so since then, I've just been trying to focus on eating right and exercising and meditating on God's word every day. Now, I was a meditator, but I love to splurge on some deliciousness, on some snacks that I shouldn't have been eating. And so anyway, I've just really been trying to, and not trying to make any New Year's resolutions, right? Because I get caught in the trap of, hey, look, I lost 30 pounds. Now I can take my foot off the pedal.
Right. Yeah. The
trap for me is I get to a certain point, and then I go, well, I don't have to do this anymore. And I think this is a lot of people.
Right.
After I had that conversation with myself, one of the things I said to myself was, can I sustain this for the rest of my life? And how can I do this slowly so that I'm not sabotaging myself and getting better?
Right.
And so one of the things I've been doing since September is just not snacking. I figure if I can just cut snacks out, which my favorite food in the world, my manna, is Krispy Kreme donuts and potato chips.
Right.
And sometimes they taste good, really good together.
Right.
But I've tried to make this mental change and not snack. I've lost about 50 pounds.
Wow. Congratulations, Biff. That's huge.
Yeah. It is huge.
Yeah. And, it is, even with any other goal of, I have this big dream to do this or do that, taking the perspective that it's just the little things we do every day that are the big things, and not to put too much on our plate where we can't accomplish something. But maybe, like, if you're exercising, if you're not doing it at all, maybe just say, 15 minutes a day. Don't go right away to 2 hours a day.
Exactly.
Take the baby steps, not too much pressure, but just do what you can do so that you'll do it. And then over a long period of time, it's going to be a big step. So I'm proud of you, Biff.
Thank you. And, I've struggled with my weight probably for, when I was in the Army, I was always an athletic person. And I worked out a lot. I actually trained for several marathons. But when I was about 33, in my late 20s, I had a really bad accident and tore my ankle up, and eventually I had to get my ankle fused. And once that happened, I became very sedentary, although I was still, I still ate like an athlete, like I was still playing football.
Right.
And that weight just compiles, and it just adds up over the months and years. And so your body then kind of resets itself the older you get. And so I'm just trying to reset so that I can be around for my kids and for my wife. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have 7 beautiful kids. And you guys are very busy, and I love your wife. She's just adorable. So I'm just
great.
Yeah, she is just one of the sweetest, most adorable human beings on the planet, I would say. I can't wait to see her soon, and I missed her at the Christmas concert. So I'm looking forward to seeing her in the near future. What is she up to? She's always up to so many things.
Oh my goodness, she is so busy just trying to make the world a better place. She is trying to get Bibles in schools. She's trying to she's working with Child Evangelism Fellowship. She's working with helping moms. She's got a ministry that she's doing right now, just really, excuse me, loving on moms that she meets out at the abortion clinics, and just telling them, you have an option, you have hope. And then she's helping to provide diapers for some of these moms for 2 years after, when they decide to keep their baby. She's just finding resources, and I don't even know half the stuff she's getting, the Lord is just pulling it out of the air. I mean, it's just miraculous what she's doing. So she's doing a fantastic job. She's just an angel.
Absolutely. And I don't know how you guys, with such a large family and all the things on your plate, you do all these things, but definitely the Lord is empowering you. And Biff, if our listeners don't know, you are a pastor at Highline Community Church. And when can they check out your services and hear you sing and hear you preach? Well,
they can come any Sunday. We're located in Greenwood Village with 6160 South Wabash Way, and they could come any Sunday. We're our service. We have one service that's at 10:30 a.m. and we are no holds barred. We preach the gospel. We sing traditional Christian music, and nothing fancy smashy. You're not going to get lights and lasers shot in your eyes, but you are going to get shot with the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, amen to that. Yeah, we can kind of overdo, and today's modern church setting, we can do sometimes the music programs, and I guess, it's just whatever the Lord is calling that particular church and the people within it to do. But simple oftentimes is better, and sometimes the message can get across clearer if maybe we just had more of a simple setting.
Exactly. Yeah, the Lord is good, and I appreciate all that He's doing in and through us here at Highline. And I also appreciate what the Lord is doing through Corner Cafe and Influencers Television. I mean, we got it going on right here and through Crawford Broadcasting, and I really appreciate you and all you're doing and how you bring the gospel. You're taking the gospel further, with the Great Commission and the Great Commandment. And so I appreciate you, and I appreciate you being a voice in media, letting people know you don't have to compromise. You don't have to take on an alternative message. You can be who you are with a personality and love Jesus all at the same time.
Yeah, the Lord, I mean, His grace, His mercy, not to say there are good and bad days, and sometimes you just get burnt out and you don't do things perfectly, but, you always come back when we have a relationship with Him. He always takes us back. And He's so gracious and so merciful to us. And, honestly, there have been times where I'm like, I don't know if this is what I want to be doing, and then He just keeps on opening up doors, and kind of, if I get off track or get down the wrong path, he gets me back on that path. So I can honestly 100% say it's not me at all. It's just the Lord and His grace and mercy, His love towards me, that even when I'm a brat, if you will, He'll get me back on track. I really do appreciate that. And that's the thing, that the message I want to move forward in the new year. When I came to the gospel as a kid, I understood the gospel of grace and mercy, and that He already had done the work. It was finished. And I was just wow, this is too good to be true. And I was just so excited about it. I'd tell my friends about it, and carried it through college and stuff too, into my, young adulthood. And here I am now. But I want to go back to that gospel versus sometimes, we just, in our humanness, we think we can do it or we can earn things. And I think that's a trap that can, the spiritual pride, and pride comes before the fall. And then we can get into the weeds and perhaps get off track. And I've just been kind of pondering that lately. Going back to the gospel I knew as a kid, because it's all about His grace and mercy, and He changes our heart versus changing the actions on the outside. It's the inside He can change if we can rest in His grace and mercy. But even as believers, we're going to stumble. But I think often we stumble if we start believing lies And so we have to come back to the truth. And when we come back to the truth, he can heal our hearts and get us back on track. So that's my testimony, Biff. Sorry. I just, kept on going, but that's, where I'm at. So, but I appreciate you, Biff, and everything you're doing. And everything that you've done for the Corner Cafe as a personality. Looking forward to the new things the Lord's going to be doing. So listeners, just be praying for Biff and his church and his ministry, his music, and also for Corner Cafe, and that we would hear God and be obedient to what he's calling us to do within these ministries.
Yes, and in these last days, because time is short. When I see time is short, I mean, we might have another 20 years, but we might have another 20 minutes.
Right.
And so, we have to make the most of the time that we have. And so I appreciate you. I appreciate you redeeming the time by being a light and witness and a voice, because God is good.
Amen. He's just so gracious to us, and like little lambs, he just he doesn't let us go. And that's one of the things, too, I love about the gospel, is that when we truly receive Christ and come to the gospel that saves, he will never let us out of his hands. He says the enemy can't take us. And that is like, wow, that's another thing. It's like, that's too good to be true. But that's the thing, is Christ, in some ways, is too good to be true. All the things that he's done for us is quite amazing. So just very thankful.
Yes. Well, I appreciate you, and I appreciate Corner Cafe and Crawford Broadcasting, and I wish, I know that, with Crawford, it's a real ministry being a part of this organization that is broadcasting the gospel across the Rockies. Mm-hmm. And, what a fabulous place to work, where you actually you're being a lantern, and people are tuning in. I keep hearing stories of people who said, I was listening to this. I was out one night, and I was at the end of my rope, and I turned on this radio program that was on this AM station, this Crawford Broadcasting station, and somebody was on there talking about Jesus, and it impacted me, and I turned my life over to Christ. So, these are good news stories that we hear out in the field, mm-hmm. that you guys probably never hear. And so I just wanted to tell you that keep doing the good work. Keep doing the work of the Lord.
Amen, Biff. Yes. And you as well, Biff. Thank you for everything you're doing. We just so much appreciate you. Looking forward to everything that we're doing in the new year together. And for listeners, check out Biff. Biff, you have your website. It's just biffgore.com, correct?
Yes, it's just biffgore.com. It is under construction. I mean, it's still up. It's up. It's more like a victory page, as I call it. But all my links and everything for my social media is there. And I'm just Biff Gore on all social media platforms as well. Yeah,
we'll definitely reach out to Biff, guys, and make sure to listen to his radio program on Saturdays after the Corner Cafe. Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on AM 670 KLTT, The Truth. Once again, we love you, Biff, and thank you so much.
Love you too.
And thanks for tuning in to the Corner Cafe. We're going to see you at the Corner Cafe next week.